Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Further Beyond Gaming. My name is Cody GT, and in today's video, Genshin Impact on their official Twitter page released some really amazing information that I did want to go ahead and go over with you. Now I'm sure you're probably aware because I'm late to this info, so I do truly apologize. But for those who do not know, there is a brand new banner that's going to be coming with the release of the official version on September 28th, as well as a free character in Barbara that we're going to be obtaining as well. So I did want to go ahead and go over this information once again, just in case you're unaware, which I'm sure you are already. And I will leave a link to the official Twitter page in the description below as well if you want to look over it yourself. But like I mentioned, there is a new banner. We're going to take a look at that really quickly first, and then the new character Barbara. So we have the new banner, the Event Wish Ballad in Goblets. It's going to be containing Venti Skills, I believe her name is, Barbara herself, and Fish. So this is really interesting because I believe this is different than what was on the Chinese open beta that everybody has been showcasing. I believe the banner was featuring Diluc and Jean on it, and I believe this is going to be a brand new one that they're introducing, which they do have some great characters here in the aspect of Venti. Actually, all of these characters are great. The only issue is that Barbara now, which we're going to get into in just a second, is going to be free to obtain, which is amazing. That's a really good thing. And then Ling, I believe you get at Adventure Rank 25, if I'm not mistaken. So there's two characters here that you are already getting for free. And then you have Fish and Venti, or Fischl and Venti, which you're able to go ahead and obtain from the gacha. So we're going to go ahead and talk about Venti here in just a second, do a bit of a character breakdown so you understand what he's bringing to the table for you to determine whether you want to go for this up drop rate for Venti. And then we're going to go ahead and talk about Barbara as well and do a bit of a breakdown here. But the new information about Barbara is that you're going to be able to obtain her for free at Adventure Rank 20 before version 1.1 goes live. So this is an amazing update and something that is really good for the free-to-play players because Barbara is one of the best healers in the game, and definitely a character that you're going to want to have on your team just in general, not to mention she is a water or hydro user, so it really kind of complements the free characters that we're going to be able to obtain in general. So we have Barbara, who's free now that we're going to be able to obtain, which is a hydro user, and then like I mentioned, we have Ling, who is a fire user, as well as Amber that we're going to be able to get for free. You have your main character that's a wind user or a Nemo user, and then we have Lisa, who's a lightning damage dealer, and then I believe Kaya we get for free, who is a ice damage dealer. So we're kind of rounding out the elements in the free characters that you can obtain, which are all really good free characters. So this is an amazing thing that Genshin Impact and miHoYo is doing. So it's really awesome, and I'm actually very happy about this. So let's go ahead and talk about Barbara first, because this is the free character that you're going to be able to obtain, and then we'll go ahead and jump into Venti. So we're just going to look at her skills and what she's bringing to the table for you, so you can know how amazing she is. And you're definitely going to want to try and reset Adventure Rank 20 before version 1.1 goes live, so you're definitely going to want to grind and make sure you obtain her. So we'll take a look at her normal attacks first. Perform up to 4 water splash attacks that deal hydro damage. This is really good because it is elemental damage and not physical damage on the basic attack, so that's really nice, something to keep in mind. Her charge attack consumes a certain amount of stamina to deal AoE hydro damage after a short casting time. Pretty standard there. And then we take a look at her elemental skill. Summons water droplets resembling musical notes that from a melody loop, dealing hydro damage to surrounding enemies and afflicting them with the wet status, which is really nice right there. And then the melody loop, Barbara's normal attacks heal all party members and nearby allied characters for a certain amount of HP, which scales with Barbara's max HP. So this is where her healing capabilities start to really kick in, and where she becomes one of those really good healing characters and one of the best that you can obtain. Now her charge attack generates 4 times the amount of healing, which is really nice. Regenerates a certain amount of the characters, or of the current character's HP at regular intervals. Applies the wet status to the character and enemies who come in contact with them. So you have to keep that in mind, as well as that she's going to be applying that wet status, which could be a little detrimental to yourself if you're going up against an ice elemental enemy. So you have to be careful of that. But other than that, she's providing a lot of healing capabilities, as you can see just with her elemental skill. If we take a look at her elemental burst, heals friendly forces and all parties for a large amount of HP that scales with Barbara's max HP. Just really nice healing all around that we have going here. And then the stamina consumption of the characters with the Let the Show Begin melody loop is reduced by 12%, which is nice. Having that, stamina consumption reduced is always really a good thing. And then if we look at her passive talent too, when a character gains an elemental orb / particle, the duration of the Let the Show Begin melody loop is extended by 1 second. The maximum extension is 5 seconds, so you get a bit of an extension on that main elemental skill right there. And then for the passive talent number 3, when Barbara cooks a boiled dish, the perfect zone on the cooking meter is twice the normal size. So it's just a little perk right there. And so that is her skills. That's what she's bringing to the table. But the Let the Show Begin skill is really where that major healing is going to be coming in, and why she's able to heal not only herself but the entire team really well, and why she's going to be pretty much a staple on any team that you put together in the game. So a really nice character, an amazing thing that MiHoYo and Genshin Impact is doing by giving us that character for free, which originally was not. So that's awesome news. And then we can move over to Venti just to look at his skills and what he's bringing to the table to give you an idea of if you want to pull on that up drop rate banner for him. So if we take a look at his normal and charge attacks, normal, perform up to 6 consecutive shots with the bow, standard. And then the charge attack, perform a more precise aim shot with increased damage while aiming. Favorable winds will accumulate on the arrowhead. A fully charged wind arrow will deal anemo damage or wind damage. So that's really cool right there. If we take a look at the elemental skill, Skyward Sonnet, press summons a wind domain at the enemy's location, dealing AoE wind damage and launching enemies into the air. Hold summons an even larger wind domain with Venti as the epicenter, dealing AoE wind damage and launching effective enemies into the air, which is really nice, having that knock-up effect. After unleashing the hold version of this ability, Venti rides the wind into the air. Enemies hit by Skyward Sonnet will fall to the ground slowly. So this is a really good AoE damage dealing skill right here. Great for crowd control to be able to knock those enemies up, and to be able to get out of some sticky situations. If you're taking a lot of damage, you can launch this, hold the attack, and be able to get out of whatever situation that you might be into, kind of reposition yourself, and then be able to go back into that range type of distance that you might want to be with this character. So really nice skill right there. And then we have the Wind's Grand Ode, fires off an arrow made of countless colset winds, creating a huge storm eye that sucks in objects and enemies along its path, dealing continuous wind damage. Elemental absorption, if the storm eye comes in contact with hydro, pyro, cryo, or electro elements, it will deal additional elemental damage of that type. Elemental absorption may occur once per use. So this is actually a fantastic skill right here. The reason being is because it can combine with any of these elements right here, which will allow you to deal some massive damage with this skill. So it's a really great. It hits a pretty large area as well, and it is a high damage dealing skill. So that's really great. Now we have Embrace of the Winds, the passive talent 1. Holding Skyward Sonnet creates an upcurrent that lasts for 20 seconds, which is really nice. And then the passive talent 2, Storm Eye, regenerates 15 energy for Venti after the effects of Wind's Grand Ode end. If an elemental absorption occurred, this also restores 15 energy to all characters of that corresponding element. So there is some supporting capabilities here to where you can provide your characters of the corresponding elements, the Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, and Electro, 15 energy back, so that way they can do more skills more often. But it also regenerates 15 energy for Venti, which means that he'll be able to proc his skills more often, which means you can almost, in a sense, proc this skill right away once more. And that is really useful in being able to not only crowd control the enemies, but be able to do massive damage to them on a frequent basis. So this is really good passive right here that I really like, and I think which makes Venti a really good character. And then the passive talent 3, Wind Rider, decreases all party members' gliding stamina consumption by 30%, the greatest effect out of all talents of the same type prevails. So really nice right there, nothing, you know, to write home about, but that's always a good thing to have. So that is Venti. That what makes Venti a really good character, why a lot of people think he's, you know, one of the best characters in the game, and you know, why some people may implore you to pull, but it's completely up to you as far as that's concerned. You know, from a free-to-play standpoint, you may not want to, you may want to hold off just because 2 out of the 4 are, you know, free-to-play already that you're going to be able to obtain. The other 2, they're really good, they are, but it, you know, it's completely up to you at that point. But anyways, guys, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed. I know I'm a little bit late to it, so I do apologize, but I hope you got some information from it regardless. And if you're new to the channel, you like what you saw, go ahead and drop a like, and if you want to be up to date with more Genshin Impact videos, go ahead and consider subscribing. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody GT, and I'm out. Bye, guys.